Welcome to Yin Yoga. And we're going to have a good look at the old Tootsie Toes today, the feet. And just feel that connection from the bottoms of the feet, often more through the posterior chain of muscles, often, up through the calf, hamstrings into the low back area. And of course the hips are all here. But within that anterior realm, there's the posterior realm, there's the anterior realm of the shins and the quads and the ankles as you point the feet. So we get this sense of thing. And then when we hit the legs, of course, we hit cylinders that have left and right sides, as well as front and back. So we're kind of hitting 4 directions through the cylinders, which is also the side ribs, the abdominals, and the low back above the hips. So why don't we start in campfire pose, which is you can sit on 1 or 2 blocks. 2 blocks gives you a little more height. And just get a sense of your feet on the ground. And leaning forward, just give the feet a squeeze all over, a compression with fingertips and thumbs, pinching each individual toe with your fingers. In other words, bringing that attention down into the feet. Notice the big toe knuckle, obviously all the digits. Then you've got the ball of the foot, all the bones at the top of the foot back to the ankles, tying into the Achilles tendon at the heel. And then underneath, if you have a look at the feet, you've got those pronounced parts where the heel and the ball of the foot are tougher than the arch. The arch is generally not given too much stimulation, because its job is to hold the foot up off the ground. So just massaging the bottom of the foot for a moment, bringing awareness into your foot. And the other foot, of course, needs a little TLC. Squeezing digits, massaging ball, arch, heel, Achilles, ankles, and the top of the foot. And in many ways, our feet are the least regarded part of the body in terms of awareness and exercise. We usually encase them in shoes, denying them of contact with the earth, the ground. And so the feet lose a lot of sensitivity over time with that lack of attention, lack of, I guess, awareness of the feet. And then we'll come onto our back with a strap. And take the strap over the right foot. Now, a strap is usually you want something quite firm rather than a stretchy band. You want what we call in yoga a yoga strap or a belt, and start to floss the foot with quite some firmness so you wake up the bottom of the foot. So we're stimulating the fascia, that covering kind of material tissue that goes around the bones, the muscles of the body. And this stimulation results in moisturizing it, hydrating it, giving it a little more flexibility. And then hold statically. Just pull down on the foot statically, toes curled back, feeling the posterior change of the leg, the back of the leg, calf muscle, hamstring. You might also feel this in the low back. Pick up the left knee and squeeze the left knee towards the ribs with the left hand, while you maintain the pulling back with the strap and the right hand. Now see if you can squeeze and pull back enough that the beginnings of traction in the low back are felt. You start to feel the low back traction out here. Carefully release the left leg. Let the left leg come out straight, and you can rest the left leg on the floor, or you can hold it a few inches off the ground if you like, just to have a little bit of hip flexor strength work, isometrically holding it. And then carefully lower the right leg with tension on the strap the whole way towards the floor. So you feel how the tension of stretch moves into the calf muscle more than the hamstring. Let's rest the left leg so we're not distracted by that. And then slowly bring the right leg back up, maintaining the tension. And then pick the left knee up and squeeze the left knee, bringing the traction into the low back. Release the left foot again, extend the left leg. Keeping tension on the strap, start to lower the right leg back towards the floor. And if you're lucky, you're going to find that you can hold your hands in a position on the strap where the shoulders are pulled away from the ears, and that's a nice release in the upper body. So the force of the leg to the strap, pulling on the arms, releases shoulders away from neck. Slowly lift up. Take the strap into the right hand again and bring the left knee up once again. Pulling and squeezing the knee and the leg back, tractioning out the lower back. Now that we've hit the posterior chain of that leg, let's hit the internal thigh by separating the hips, bringing the right leg out to the right towards the floor, left knee out to the left, so you feel that internal stretch on the thigh, that opening of the hips outwards. Keep those toes curling back as if you're trying to drive the heel bone out, maintaining the hamstring and the adductor lengthening. Now slowly bring back and cross right ankle over the left knee. Figure 4. Pick up the figure 4 off the ground so that the lower leg is coming towards the ribs. Secure the knee joint with one hand, the ankle joint with one hand, and the toes of the right foot with the left hand. So you're holding that foot. And then rotate the ankle joint, rotate the toes without activating the ankle. Rotate the other way. So it's a firm grip of the toes, and the hand is giving the ankle permission to relax. And then continue with the stimulation of the foot. Simply grab each digit, squeeze, wiggle, and separate each consecutive pair of toes. So wiggle, 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 squeeze, 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 and stretch the webbing between the toes before you move on to the next pair. So a lot of foot focus in today's class. And hopefully seeing its relationship to the rest of the body. Be careful on the big toe. And then you can massage and squeeze, stimulate the foot all over with the pads of the fingers and thumb, just like you did at the beginning in campfire pose. Now, once you've done that, you can relax, come into a little crunch as you reach both hands around that front shin, clasping the hands and pulling the front shin back. If you can't reach the front shin, use a strap around the shin and then carefully lower the head back down and relax the head and squeeze, 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 bringing the outer thigh into its lengthened position, as well as more traction on the glutes and low back. Keep it delicious. While you hold this position, rotate the ankle under ankle power, rotate the foot under ankle power. Ten to 20 times each direction. Gradually release that left foot to the floor. Keep the figure four. Bring both hands out 90 degrees from the shoulder. Push down with the left foot so you lift the buttocks off the ground. Feel that left quadricep activate. Turn onto the left hip and drop the figure four to the ground. So the right foot's flush on the ground. Hopefully the left knee is as well. If it's not, could you pad it with something? Feel that right foot snug on the floor. And then take your left hand and push the right thigh away from you. Just like you're trying to unlock where the femur joins the pelvis, and reach the right arm over the head. Just reach out like you're stretching and waking up the rib cage. Ah. Three to five more breaths here. See if you can relax between those two reaching and pushing efforts of the body. Oh. And that should be a release of tension. Slowly release onto your back. And before we release the figure four completely, grab the top leg and squeeze it in like you're coming into pigeon pose and extend the left leg out. You can hold your head up in a kind of crunch if you like. That's nice for the low back. Or you can lay the head down and just relax the neck. Whatever's more fun. Now you can experiment with the opening of the knee joint here. You can open it more, as if you're trying to bring the foot behind your head. Or you can close it more. So you can just experiment there. Feeling that difference in the outer thigh as you open and close. And then slowly lower that right leg into tree pose. So the right foot is against the left thigh, left leg extended, and relax into tree pose. If you can't relax because the inner groin of the right side is activated, bring a block underneath the right knee to take off any adverse tension. Interesting to experiment now is to simply relax the right leg out and contrast how the right leg feels compared to the left leg. How the right foot feels different to the left foot. Well, let's even up the sides here. Grab your strap, left foot into the strap, and we'll start with that vigorous flossing, stimulation of the height of the fascia at the bottom of the foot. Now I'm going to recommend that, even though where you are might be winter time and cold, that when possible, try to walk around with bare feet as much as you can, on as many surfaces as you can. You'll be amazed at how good that can help the feet feel over time. Just taking them out of their boxes, their shoes, their socks, their Ugg boots, their thongs. Oh, we call flip-flops thongs in Australia. All right, hold statically now, curling toes back. And really enjoy that posterior stretch. And again, wondering at the relationship between the foot's position and the back of the leg. Secure both ends of the